Well, hello and happy Friday. I know I said I was going to do this Wednesday, and I procrastinated by playing Two Point Campus, which is one of my favorite games to play. I got into playing that. I pretty much did nothing but sit on the couch and rot for 2 days playing that game, when I should have been swatching everything. And so Wednesday, I did a bunch of swatching, and I ran out of time. And yesterday we were visiting family, so you're getting this today. That's okay though. But I wanted to do, so this is going to be in chunks, just because there were so many different sets to swatch and show. This is going to be primarily a pencil, colored pencil and watercolor haul. So I'm going to start off right off the bat by saying a couple things overall that I do in this video. First thing I do is I share prices. I know, so by the way, I am not an Amazon affiliate anymore. There are reasons for that, and they're job related reasons that I can't be an Amazon affiliate. So I have no problems sharing prices. Apparently Amazon affiliate doesn't like it when you do that. But I'm going to share prices with you because Black Friday this year is kind of ticking me off, y'all. Kind of ticking me off because what I'm seeing is stuff I bought getting marked up, then getting a 10% Black Friday deal put on it, and then it's the exact same price I purchased it. So, and I'm talking about the stuff that wasn't a deal when I initially purchased it. So, all the markdowns I saw were prior to Thanksgiving. It's really weird, and I don't know why they did it that way this year, but I want to share the prices of what I purchased this stuff for so that nobody gets snookered, I guess, into a bigger price point than I feel like it should be. I don't feel like I overpaid for anything I show you guys today. The price I purchased it at, I feel like is a good price. So, I just want to share that with y'all. So like if you see it and they've done a deal, Black Friday deal, where they've marked it up and then marked it back down, it's still a good price at the price I purchased it. But if they've marked it up higher, you know, maybe you decide to put it on a list, or maybe you decide to wait. So I just want to share that info with you. My pencil, uh, so everything's split up in the chapters. You can look in the description. I'll have detailed timestamps and what I cover, so that you only have to go to look at the things you want to look at if you want to, because it is a long video. I do go into a little bit of detail on the pencil sets and the watercolor sets, just to show you guys. I always try to swatch everything before the video so I can show you guys what the colors look like. I usually don't swatch live on here just because this video would be double the length. So I try to give you guys an idea of like what the color swatches are, and then talk to you about what experiences I had while swatching the items. And there's a little bit of time spent on each set. I don't go into great detail, and I haven't really, other than the Chromaflow pencils, which I've used before and I was buying a backup set, I haven't colored with any of these yet. So my plan next year is to do some really detailed reviews, probably starting off with my pencil sets. So this is just a overview to help you. I went pencil crazy. Like I said, there were some really big markdowns on pencils right before Thanksgiving, and between me and Tammy Colors too, who sometimes I wonder like that we need, anytime there's a sale on, man, if there was an app where it's like anytime there's a sale on Amazon where we suddenly can't message each other, that would probably be the best thing for both of us, really. But she shared a lot of good deals with me, and I got pulled Well, it's not entirely her. It's me too, because I shared some stuff with her too. So let's be fair. It's both sides. But I got there were a lot of pencil sets that were really marked down that I wanted to try out, and plus the pencil set review plans I have for next year. So I bought a lot of pencils, which I don't usually do because I don't use a ton of pencils. However, always want that to change. And then watercolor sets, I'm my own victim there. Like I said, if you like watercolors at all, I think the owning a bunch of different sets is like, I see even watercolor artists do this. So it's not just gotta have them all. It's like Pokemon. So that's my own fault. And I have yet still more stuff to come. So in terms of Black Friday sales, I don't really have, I have one specific one I share with the MozArt Japanese style watercolors. Those are a good deal right now. Everything else is like what the price I bought it before, or it's marked up and you can decide whether or not you want to pay that. So that's the big one I want to tell you about. Also, I think Ohuhu still has the like 10-15% off their markers sale. Again, it's not a deep discount, but I did so in my marker, and I'm telling you guys about it now because I won't do another supply video this weekend, but I know Ohuhu's and CaliArts are both marked down. At least they were as of Wednesday. I in my marker series, I highly recommended both the Ohuhu and CaliArt markers. I've been using those little 40 sets I have. Those have worked really well for coloring. And so I splurged because there was a sale. I did get like I think it was a 216 set of the brush tips for Ohuhu, and then I found 100 of, and that was like 135 US, so that was up there. But then the 100 CaliArt brush tips was $50. I will be linking them in the description, the ones I bought. Hopefully they are still marked down because they were, listed as Black Friday deals. So I wanted I wanted some brush tips in them, and things are gonna change around here for 2024. I'll talk probably a little bit about it in my coloring chat, but finance-wise, we've already been making changes for some financial goals, which is a good thing because other things have changed where I'm going to be, it's not going to be a no buy in 2024, but it's going to be like a low buy where basically I have a few set rules and I'm only going to be using like my YouTube channel money, which is not very much. So, so of course, because of that, I know like I'm buying stuff now, because I gave myself that cutoff date. That's terrible. But I did want to talk about this briefly before we get into everything else. I did buy another one of these. I bought this like 5 years ago and it got all dried out and gummed up, so I had to buy another one. This is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. If you need a white that won't soak up colored pencil, it won't turn pink, it won't turn, like, anytime I use a reddish color and then I use a white gel pen on it over it, most of the time it wants to turn it pink. This won't do that. It's kind of like a paint. I think it's an ink or something, but I use it like paint. I just use a little brush and I dab it on there for like highlights and stuff. This I highly recommend. I have not found a paint pen like Posca. I haven't found a gel pen that that won't do that on certain pages, and it's extremely aggravating. So this is what I use when I just want it to be actual like white highlights and white stars or what have you. Highly recommend this, but I needed another one because after 5 years this did dry out, so definitely keep the lid tight on this. But I tell you, if they made like a gel pen of this stuff, some type of like paint pen or something, like I would have a million of them. Like, no kidding. I would never buy another white gel pen again. It's only the hassle of having to use this like a paint that keeps me from using it more often. So I did buy a refill of that. What else? Was there anything else I just wanted to cover in the intro so I don't repeat myself endlessly in all these different clips? I should have wrote notes. My brain's been kind of all over the place. But yeah, so yeah, I covered the pencil sets. The little sheet I show where I tried to blend stuff, like, I wouldn't 100% go by that because I was in a rush and I wasn't properly, like, doing layers to blend those out. But really, we'll just say this to save some time. The Artisto pencil, Artisto, I want to say Artisto. The Artisto pencils, out of all the ones I reviewed, to me, blended, like, the smoothest, which was a big surprise. Those were a very last minute buy for me. I missed the deep discount that they had, but I still wanted to try them, and like, I think those are great pencils. I was pleasantly surprised. And then, like I said, I review some $10 and $15 sets. I review some $30 and $40 sets, and I mean, there were really no surprises there. Like, I mean, if you're just looking to shade or do like some straight, like just basic non-blending coloring with your pencils, like, I think you could get by with a little bit cheaper set like I was showing today. If you do want to blend a bit, or you want a pencil that lays down like really smoothly and gives you a lot of color, but you don't want to blend a lot, like the Heshengping pencils I'm going to show you are really good for that. Blendable pencils, Artisto. And then the Poscas, I'm not sure about yet. I haven't really used them. They didn't lay down color as easily as I thought they would. So the jury's still kind of out on those. And then the Chromaflows I've used before. I like them. They do tend to be a drier pencil and crumble a bit when you use them. So that's why I bought a discount when they were discounted as much as they were. That's why I bought a backup set, but you can go and look at that piece of the video for more info. So yeah, the markers I'm going to show next month. I don't know if I'll do a December supply or end of December supply haul like January. It might just be January, because I have a number of things on my wish list, my Christmas list, and I have markers coming in. I splurged on some Dreamland watercolors because she's having a Black Friday sale. I'm going to put that in the description. They're very pricey but beautiful watercolors. I figured I would take one last one last go with those, and bought a few other things that are coming in, like watercolor stuff, because I can't stop collecting. But really and truly, like, I have plenty, and that's what I was going to say with these markers, with everything. The only thing I'm really missing is a good gouache set that I want to try, and so I've got that on my Christmas list. I've got a couple other things on there, but really truly supply wise, like, I don't need anything. So but like I said, there'll be another big one either at the end of December, or if we run out of time, it will be in January. And then after that, there may be some smaller ones. As I need to replace stuff, I can do that. So y'all will probably see a lot of replacement stuff. If it's in my budget, you know, I might get it. But for the most part, you're going to just be seeing a lot of reviews next year, because the next thing I need to do is go through my stuff and decide whether I'm going to use it or not. And then if not, find it a new home. And, you know, sell it if it's something that can be sold, and let somebody else have it for a discounted price, and lucky them that lucky them. Joke's on me. Anyway, we'll talk about that more. I'll have a 2024 kind of plans video in December, so I don't want to get in that too much here. But if you're tired of hearing me talk about nothing, and just ramble, then lucky for you, we're going to go ahead and move on to the pencil sets. I'm probably going to put those in order of how much I like them. You know, everything's going to be kind of out of order and it's going to sound scattered, but it's just kind of how it came to be. So hope you guys enjoy. If I come across anything else, definitely check out Lindsay's channel. If you check her community tab, she posts running lists of like Black Friday deals and stuff. I love y'all, but I just don't love y'all that much. I'm not super impressed with Black Friday, particularly on Amazon this year. I've been watching a little bit, and it's just been like sale prices, not, like I said, they had deeper discounts before Thanksgiving. So there's a tip. Oh, another tip on these things, if I'd suggest creating like Amazon wish lists and every now and then looking at them and checking and seeing if you know, something in particular has been discounted. That's where I've found a lot of hidden sales when I do that. And but also make sure that you kind of remember what the prices were so they don't pull a stunt where they mark it up and then 10% off, you know, kind of deal too, so that you're kind of familiar with what the original price was too, because I have definitely seen them doing that. And it's that I'm seeing more than I'm seeing actual discounts. And so, but I think Blick is running some good sales. Definitely go check them out. I think Ohuhu site has some sales. There's, you know, if you go to the different actual vendor sites, like Castle Art and all them, they've got some sales. You might find better deals on their sites than you do on Amazon, so definitely shop around if you're looking for deals. But I, so far, have not seen anything drastic for actual Black Friday, so yeah, kind of a bummer. But what you gonna do? Anyway, let's move on. Just a suggestion. And let's move on to the actual supplies. Alright, so here, on a whim, because they were a really good price, I, of course, say that, and then I'm like, wait, what did I pay for those? Hang on. Okay, so these were marked down, but I had missed the sale, but I still wanted to try them out. So I purchased these for $30 US on Amazon, which is the current price. As of the recording of this video, like I said, I'm sort of doing this. Might still be Wednesday when it comes out. It might be Thursday, the rate I'm going. But this was just kind of a last minute try because I had heard some good things about these. And boy, was I surprised. So they come in just a typical 10, 72 set 10. You either get the really long one or the little shorter boxed one like this. I will say I do appreciate this extra little bit of foam on the top. I feel like that helps, especially if you have, especially if you have, you know, delivery people that maybe bang around your stuff quite a bit. Mine don't. I'm very fortunate, but I know a lot of you people, a lot of you people, geez, that sounded harsh and aggressive. A lot of people have that trouble. It does come with this nice little swatch sheet that's, man, it almost feels like a texture like a watercolor type paper, but it does come with a swatch sheet. However, it's different than how I normally like my swatch sheets, so I didn't use it, but it still looks like a nice one if you want to keep your stuff together. It does show all of them here, and then they just come in those little flimsy plastic trays, like your typical standard budget to mid-range pencil setup, right? So I did swatch these out, and the first thing I noticed about these pencils is that they are drier feeling pencils. I didn't have to work super hard to put the get good vibrant pigment on the paper, but it definitely wasn't as luscious as the Heshengping pencils. Like it just, those I put down one layer and I'm good. These I could put down one layer and they were fine, but like really two layers um going across down and then across really, you know, filled in most of this. Now keep in mind this is copy paper. I'm not trying to really replicate, you know, the paper that I'm going to color on. I just want to get color on a page to look at. Um I swatched these a little different because I did all the skin tones kind of together in the browns. Um, these were nicely packaged in the pan where in the tin where all these colors were together in groups. They weren't necessarily like the reds were on the same tin as the greens and then the blues and the browns. And I think it was the grays and like the purples or something. So, but they were grouped together enough that it was easy to put these in the order that I wanted to put them in. So I did appreciate that. Um, but they felt almost drier. I mean, they are a wax-based pencil, as most of the pencils I have are, but I don't know if you can see. The shine's not quite as bad. And like I said, they just felt drier putting them down, which is interesting. I was trying to think of something to compare them to, and I really can't think offhand. Probably when I really go through my pencil sets next year, it's going to be where we really see where some of these comparisons come into play, but I can't think of a pencil right now that these remind me of. They're drier, maybe more oil based, maybe drier, sort of like a polychromos, but not that dry. Like because with polychromos, I do have to, you know, layer and layer those to really get color, and I didn't have to do that with these. But like if I was kind of thinking about it, maybe a little bit more oil rather than wax or something. Maybe that's why that doesn't make any sense, does it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But they feel like a drier pencil. It's really the only way I can explain it, which does make them a tad bit dustier. I noticed, I think out of all the pencils I tried in this video, they were ones that were actually bringing up some crumbs. Not very much though. Nothing like I've seen some of the budget level pencils do. And I mean, in $30, this is really kind of hitting more towards mid-range. But if you can get these under $30, I'm telling you, you definitely should. Like, there needs to be an Artisto 120 set. But the whole time I was swatching these, you know, they have really good colors. Like I said, a very nice set of oranges, not a ton of yellows, I'll be honest. But again, it's a 72 set. There are going to be sacrifices, just depending on the brand you have, what is being sacrificed in the color to the color gods is it changes slightly. Good amount of reds, not a lot of pinks. None of the sets I had today had a lot of pinks. I'm rather surprised. Me personally, I'm cool with that, but like I could have probably used a couple more on this one. Like they were really aggressive about it. Very nice, different variety of purples. You get some really unique colors in this one, like more neutral type colors, like this sort of heather purple, this lighter, kind of dustier purple. Um, where is it? Like this one here. Like you do get some more neutral tones. And that brings me to the most interesting part of this. Like you get a fair amount of greens, you get a really nice set of skin tones, but like I think what really makes this set is the neutrals. If you like a neutral palette, if you like building on a lot of browns and skin tones and earth tones and grays and like shadowing with grays, and you're looking for a mid-range to budget set, this might be the one you're looking for because they had a really great variety of browns and then like neutral skin tones, and then look at all these grays and neutrals they had. Um, I was really pleasantly surprised. They don't have a ton of dark browns, which is fine, but this is the most grays I feel like I've seen in a set in a while. I mean, Prismacolor is really the king of like the grays, but if you're looking for a set with a lot of different grays in it for different types of shadows and shading and things like that, like this is a really good palette for that. So definitely feels different than the other three sets I've tried today. These feel different on their own. What really shocked me was when I blended them. So if you look at these, so like these are the extremely budget pencils, right? Like the high pencils, the ones that I'm reviewing in the Tongfu are like your like $10, $15 pencils. Um, Between those two, the Tongfu actually blends a lot better, but it is a drier pencil, and the high pencils are more waxy. They lay down color a little better, quicker, but they don't blend quite as well as the Tongfu. Same situation happens here. The Heshengping, I couldn't get a super good blend between them all. But they lay down color like a dream. I mean, if you just only want to put one or two medium pressure layers down, I think like if you were to take your time and layer with them, you might be able to get some blending with them, but they are definitely a heavy wax type pencil. But I love the color layout. These Artisto, I guess it's because the dryness, the combination that is used for the pencils, like these blended, you can see here, there's no lines. This just blended. It just did. It was just, there was no real effort made here. Like, I was trying to get these to blend, and like these just, yeah, it really surprised me. And like I said, that's like a medium pressure. So they're a little drier. They're not quite as shiny and vibrant as like the Heshengping, but if you're looking for a pencil that like actually really can blend and make new colors, like when I was when I was making this and I was putting the red over the yellow, I was getting that orange like I should. Like this set becomes a lot more versatile. They may not have a 120 set, but you could definitely take this 72 and create new colors from these swatches that could actually blend together on a paper. So hopefully in the more in-depth videos I do, I can show you what I mean by that. But like if you mix a blue and yellow in this, you're probably going to get a green, probably with the Tongfus, but you may not as much. Blue and yellow. Did I say blue and yellow? I don't know what I said. Blue and yellow, my green. Right? Yes. So, yeah, when I go more in depth on these, I can, go more into that. But like, if you're looking for a blendable pencil, these blend better than some of the more expensive pencils I have. And like I said, the fact that I can't really find another pencil that reminds me of them, I think is a good thing. I mean, not a good thing, but if you know of what like, if they remind you of something, let me know in the comments if you've used them. But these were the biggest surprise by far. And so you can see it's crumbling a little bit there. So they do like to crumble just because I think they're a drier pencil. Unfortunately, they are not open in stock because they're just sold in the tins. But they were marked all the way down to like $15 or $20. Like if you can find these under, I think $30 is okay to pay. But if you can find these under $30, I think it's absolute steal. Like, I just, out of the four, I would say, if you can and you like to blend, get these. If you prefer not blending and just getting bright, vibrant, color, just coloring straight on, I would, say like that. So, it really just depends on what type of coloring you like. So, yeah, so there are all the pencils. I'm not sure where in the video this is. I'm going to do an intro and an outro, so I guess to the next portion we go. Alright, next up in pencil sets, we have the Posca pencil set. I actually snagged these during the Prime sale in October that Amazon had. I'd seen some recommendations for this set, and they had a really good price on them. Give me just a minute. Okay, so I got them marked down at $37.50 US, and they are currently, as of today, Friday, on the site for $50. So there are only 36 colors in this set. These say Mitsubishi, like Mitsubishi Pencil Company on them too, so I don't, and it also says it on the pencils, so I don't know if these are different than the Mitsubishi pencils. If anybody has both of those, let me know. More than likely, unless I put them in a case with other smaller sets of pencils, which is possible. For now, I'm going to keep them in this case. It's actually kind of a neat case where it comes with a little band. It's not a super tight band, so you still have to be careful with them, which is why I don't think they will stay in this case long. But they're little stackable trays, which is actually kind of cute. Now, I have mentioned that I'm a lazy artist colorist, and I like to have colors already prepared for me. So it's unusual for me to pick up just a 36 set, but this was the biggest set they had. Here are the swatches. Again, this is just copy paper, keep that in mind, and I think I was coloring this on a textured surface, which is kind of why they look a little wonky. But I feel like it's got a good set of standard colors. I think for a 36 set, you're really just looking for, well, in my opinion, I'd be looking for, you know, some basic colors and colors that hopefully can be mixed and blended together. What I'm planning on doing, and I'm hoping this works and they blend together well, I'm hoping to create like a little chart down here with the 36 colors and like see what colors I can build, like do a full blend kind of palette thing and see what other colors I can get when I mix pencils. Hopefully they mix. Again, this is just an overview. I will be going more in depth into these pencil sets next year. When I put them on my little comparison chart, they are also, they feel a bit drier type pencil again, which makes me think after seeing the Artisto, I keep wanting to call them Artistro, but they're Artisto. These probably will blend better than I'm doing on this paper because I'm working quickly, so don't judge their blendability by somebody who is in a hurry. But these are one thing that is going to be interesting. This is light pressure, this is medium pressure, and then hard pressure. These do feel very sturdy. Like, I'm not worried this tip's going to snap off like I would a lot of other pencils when I do the heavy pressure. There's not a lot of difference. Problem is, you have to press down a little bit harder to get the color that comes a little easier with the other, these other 4 sets up here. That might be the only thing that causes me an issue with these, but if I'm blending them and mixing them, I'll probably start out with light layers. Need to start with light layers anyway. So this will be a good test. So yeah, there are those. I don't know, you know, funny enough, they kind of remind me when I was coloring with them and then I did the Chromaflow ones. They felt very similar, funny enough. Let me see. We're going to hold on to that thought. It's funny, they actually felt kind of similar, speaking of the Chromaflows. And these are round barrels. The numbers are actually on the, and you're not going to be able to see it because it's blurry, but the numbers are on the ends, which is also a little unusual, but there's no color name. There is a color name. No. No color names on them, just numbers on the tips. So I would say, like, I don't know. I'm not going, this is, and this will be a disclaimer I give at the beginning too, so just ignore me if I'm prattling on again. My disclaimer on all these is I can't tell you right now if I feel like the price they're at is too much or the price that they were is, obviously if you can find them on sale, that's, a better deal. I can't say if these are worth $50. I can't even say if they were worth $40 what I paid for them yet. So, because I've not had the chance to use these yet. So, and that pretty much goes for all my pencils, by the way, except for the Chromaflow. I have used those a little bit. So Chromaflow was running an Amazon deal before Thanksgiving, and I'm sure I talked about this in the intro. Had these marked off almost 50%. They were down around $40. I paid $100 for these last year, probably newer to when they come out. And the fact that they've been marked down almost makes me wonder if they're going to do a 120 set with these. But knowing Derwent, it will be like years before we get that full set reasonably priced. See, for example, Derwent ink tints, extra pencils. If you're in the US, you know what I mean. Those things are still like crazy overpriced. So I'm thankful that my package finally showed up because this was already marked back up, and I would have had to just take a refund on it. And I wouldn't have been able to buy them at the discount price, so I was thankful for that. So I already have the Chromaflow. This is just a backup set. These are a little bit, softer, crumbly pencils, and so my softer, crumbly pencils, I tend to have backups on because I know I will burn through those faster than other pencils. But this is the tin they come in. Sorry for the shiny, but they come wrapped in plastic. I don't see any point in punching through that right now. I already have a set I can show you guys. So these went back up to $70 US. And which is still cheaper than what I purchased them at. So, take with that what you want. Take from that what you want. I had a sip of coffee this morning. This is the set right here. Actually put in a pencil case. I do have, my swatches are a little weird for this one. I can't make up my mind. Sometimes I want the little like ring bound, strip swatches. Sometimes I want a full page. I don't know. It's all over the place. But I really like the yellows and oranges and reds that come with the set. There's a nice variety, especially for like a 72 set. Not a lot of light purples. You just got this orchid and the pink heather and like an ultra pink, really, I guess, if you're going that direction. I like the light greens, yellow greens here. You don't have a ton of blues, but you get a lot of greens. And a lot of grays in this set as well. Which set was it? I said there were a lot of grays. The Artisto set. You get a lot of grays in this one. And then you get a silver and a gold pencil, which I feel like is acceptable. It's the sets like the high pencils that give you a lot more metallics in a 72 set. Like, I feel like, no, I'd rather just have other colors. Like, make a metallic. If you're going to make more than a silver, gold, and a bronze, make a metallic set. Like, just make a separate metallic set. But like a silver and a gold's acceptable. And this one has a lot of nice grays to it too. So if you like a lot of neutral tones, landscape type stuff, this will probably be a good set for you. Like I said, they felt just funny, like I said, really funny just as I was. Now see, this tip snapped, but I had a little more. Okay, they don't feel exactly like the Posca. These lay down color a lot easier. So light pressure, medium pressure, heavy pressure. You get color a lot easier with these than you do the Poscas. So, but they feel kind of drier, like the Poscas and the Artisto. They're not, these aren't as waxy. So like where I was talking about the Heshengping are super waxy, like really shiny, and the Tongfu not so much. The high pencils are pretty shiny. Artisto's not very shiny. Posca and the Chromaflows all are kind of drier pencils, which again means they'll probably crumble a little more, which um, might mean you run through the pencils faster. But they also don't put as much shine on the paper, and which means they, probably use less wax in the overall mix of their pencils, which I think is probably a better, what I'm learning as I'm coloring. For me, that works better for me when I'm trying to blend if there's not quite as much wax, which doesn't sound right because you would think more wax. Anyway, I'm not an expert on pencils, so I'm just telling y'all how they feel. So yeah, and that is all the pencil sets. I think I'm sticking this one at the end, so you'll probably see my outro on this. And then, yeah, I've got other things to show you, so we will move on over to that. Alright, next up, if I can get my camera at the right angle, is a very interesting set. And you see two sets here, and no worries, I will explain. So I had seen a set that Sugar Sweet, one of the artists that I really like their books, uses a lot on Instagram, and they're like the tins titled like Finding the Lost Girl, and it's a set of 72, and I've been really curious about those because they look beautiful when they've been used to color with, and so I wanted to try those out. And it says H&X brand. However, when I went searching for these, they were made by a company called Heshengping. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So they have two tins like this. One is this blue tin, and the other is like a reddish. Yeah, it's also Finding Lost Girl, but it's kind of a reddish tin. I guess they have like an Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe to them. And so I hesitated for a long time because these are not numbered or named. But, and I know, I'm like, why would I care about the tin? Because it's beautiful. And why would I care about the tin when I'm going to take them out of the tin? So, but I just couldn't resist them. I purchased them for $19.99 US a couple weeks ago. They are currently on sale on Amazon US for $17.99 and a $2 coupon. So you actually get them for close to $16, which I'll explain in a minute. I think it's a really good deal for these. But they come in the basic tin that you would expect. Like I said, unfortunately, these just don't have names or numbers to them. They are in color order when they come, though, so that's really handy. So they're staying in here for now. I did swatch these out, and now my lighting's getting all jacked again. Let's... I'm like, meh. It'll be good enough. There we go. So I did swatch them out. They lay down really nicely. Like, I can really tell how easily a pencil is going to lay down by like how many times I have to go over the swatch to get a good deep color. If I have to go over twice, like you'll see in the Tongfu and the, if you haven't already seen them, I don't know what order I'm putting these in. The Tongfu and the high pencils, I had to go over them 2 or 3 times to get a deep enough color for that I was happy with the swatch. These I only had to do once with like light to medium with medium pressure. So they come out really nicely on paper. They have good vibrant color. They are really waxy and shiny on paper. The closest I can compare them to are the Artisas. If you like Artisas, that's what they remind me a lot of. Also, a little bit of not as soft as a Prismacolor. A couple of them did feel a little smudgy, which is like only seeing really, really soft pencils like Prismacolor. So I would definitely put these on the softer side of pencils, which for a 16, 15, $20 set of pencils, you can't beat that for sure if you really like soft pencils. So that's cool. Where's my pen? Oh man, I bet y'all were thinking this is going to be just so nice and straightforward, and I forgot how to do an ampersand. So all I did was just number them 1 through, this is not the right set, is it? No. You're probably really confused. Okay, let's do this again. Let's try this again. H and X. I just numbered them 1 through 72. This is a 72 set. Swatched them according to the way they were in the tin. They already, like I said, came in color order, which is really nice. I like the colors with these. Like I said, they all, as you can see, the color is also nice. Again, I really only had to go over these once. Nice and soft pencils. They are pretty waxy though. It says oil colored pencil. These are more, these have more of a waxy look to them. But anyway, I just was really bummed that these didn't have names or numbers. So I was looking around, and weirdly, Heshengping also had another 72 set that was in a case. And these had names and numbers. And that's this case here. It's a very pretty case too. I actually really like it. So these, they don't have the H and X on them. They're actual Heshengping. And both sets have round barrels that are the full color on the barrel. In this bright light, you can't really see. They're in gold. There's the brand colored pencils here. What does that say? Artist colored pencils here, and then the band and the gold stamp, and it's just a number, no color name on these. As compared to these just have the H&X brand on them, but other than missing the number, these just say draw your inspiration. They have the brand, no number stamp. So, but the pencils feel the same overall. So I, being curious, didn't want to do this for all the sets, but I was genuinely curious about this one the most. I did order the 72 set in the case, thinking like if the colors don't match up or only like one or the other, I can always send the other set back. These showed a completely out of color order. I don't know if they were in number order. I can't remember. I just had to put them in the best color order I could, which was a headache. At least they had numbers. They just come in the case. There's no swatch or anything that comes with them that would help. You get a few little things, like again, you get this weird little, I'm assuming it's for the end of, like when your pencils are at the end of their life. This would actually work with these because they are rounded pencils. So that is good to know. It looks exactly the same. Sharpener. What is this thing? I don't really ever care. It looks like an eraser. I don't ever really care about the extras, but I mean, I guess some people might. They're just usually such a hassle to get out of here. Once they get out, I'll never put them back. And this looks like multiple little sheets of paper. I don't know what this is for. Somebody enlighten me if you know. Anyway, no metallics in this set. This just comes with, see, like I said, never getting back in the case. Comes with one silvery pencil, and like one silver pencil, and that's it. I didn't see any other metallics in it. So I put all these in color order. I swatched them. It does actually come with its own swatch, my bad. But it's just a little card, and you have to write the names. Also comes with a little coloring book, which the 7210 also comes with the same exact book. So my assumption is they are the same pencils, just one is numbered and in a case and one is in a tin and not numbered. So the sun came out. That's really what thwarted me. So these don't exactly match because my color order isn't the same color order as what they have. However, if you look, these two colors look very similar. These two colors, 3 and then the 31, match up. 6 and this 26 match up. So as I'm going through here and looking, the numbered pencils, it looks like I'm matching up swatches. So they're not one-to-one because, like I said, I didn't put them in the same order. However, looking at these two swatches, I cannot say for sure without, doing one-for-one comparisons throughout. But my guess is that these are the exact same set, and one has numbers and one doesn't. So the non-numbered case 10 is, like I said, with the $2 coupon I'm currently seeing today, it's $16.99. I paid roughly $20 for it. The case with the numbered pencils was $4 more. I think it was $24 or $25 basically US. So for an extra $5, I got a really nice case to put them in. Finding a 72 pencil set, unless you get one of these small cases or a roll-up case, can be kind of difficult. So it is nice they go ahead and come in these cases. And like I said, the biggest headache was just putting them in a color order. So I think these are the same pencils. If this were me, past me, and I could go back in the past, I'd be like, just order this one. I did this for the sake of learning, but I would say just to save you, if you like having numbered pencils, buy this set. But I'm going to keep these as a backup, and then as I run through these pencils, I will then, write the number on that pencil and then just swap them out. So if you like numbered pencils, don't be captivated by the pretty tin. Be captivated by the pretty case. I did do... This is going to plague me all day. I know this is irritating, and I'm sorry. Okay, so I did go ahead and swatch these out. I was curious about the feel of them because, like I said, I kept getting a feel of like Artisto from them when I was swatching them. So I couldn't get like a super huge blend between them, probably about the level of the high pencils. Weirdly, the Tongfu look better blended than any of them right now, but I think it's just because it's getting late in the day. I'm getting tired. I'm getting heavy-handed. I want to give these a fair shake. Like I said, this is just an overview. But they do have really nice colors that go together. In the swatches, you get a fair number of light skin tones. You get some legitimate light oranges and then some yellows and golds. Reds, red orange, not a ton of pinks, which again I'm a fan of personally, but a lot of people like pink, so that might be a problem. A fair shake of purples, a lot of blues, which I like, and blue greens. Again, this really nice pale shade of green again popping up. I think I like this one because it has a really hefty number of browns, like ochres and red browns, and then the different color browns there. So if you like using a lot of browns, this might be a good set for you as well. But just out of curiosity, I grabbed the So here's the Heshengping. Here's the Artisto in a similar color but not the same. And just for giggles, I pulled an Amazon Basic because that would be the other pencil I would think of. And the Amazon pencil is a lot more troublesome. So this to me is, if you want to try Artisto pencils and you want to try a cheaper pencil, the Heshengping might be the ones to try. However, I'm going to go out on a limb and say these were the ones that I was looking for to actually put through like some really actual testing, because I've seen numerous people use these. So you're going to see videos on me using all these, but like these in particular, I really want to kind of push and see what I can do with. These were the ones I was most looking forward to. I'm pleasantly surprised that the colors do match up, because at least, you know, like I said, for $5 more, you get a case and you get numbered pencils, but they're the same pencil and you got to put them in color order, which is a hassle, especially when you have multiple times you're doing that. But overall, I think that's the better deal. But I will link to both in the description. So, on to the next one. So here is one of the budget sets I picked up. These are unfortunately named. I'm going to say the name of the pencil brand one time, then I'm going to refer to it as the high pencils, because they are the Hiforny pencils. It doesn't really matter how I say that. It just doesn't sound right? What's even funnier is the F looked more like a P on the page when I wrote it, which made it even funnier. So these were a set that Tammy from Tammy Colors 2 had mentioned, and let me take a look real quick. Where'd they go? These come in a very standard little cardboard box, and they were basically like $10 pencils. And I thought, okay, well, I'm willing to try. Oop, Amazon is having fits today. This is Wednesday. It's pretty funny. So I paid US $9.99 for these, not including tax and everything. And as of this recording on Wednesday, about 2 o'clock Central, they are marked up to $12.99. I'm going to make sure I link the ones that go to the cardboard box, because they have a 10 of these that is a little more expensive, and to be honest, I think you're just paying for the 10. So these are the 72 high pencils. They are the Black Edition colored pencils, 72 unique colors, a 3.3 millimeter lead. It says blendable oil-based lead. Is it basswood or basswood? I can't remember how you pronounce that. Round barrel, and these are soft pencils. They do have the chart on the back, which I did not realize until I was halfway through swatching. But these aren't in really the color order that I like, so this wouldn't have done me any good anyway. The interesting thing about these pencils that I don't see very often in budget pencils is that these do have a light fast. Oh, goodness. You see it down here. These have light fast ratings on them, which, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But you know, so it's there. It's not something I see all the time. These are numbered. These are named. So here is getting all my lighting. It's going to change throughout the day. There's a name of the pencil. There is a stamp number, a name, and then the light fast rating. Now, the barrels do not match the color names, but that is not unusual for, I mean, even the super expensive pencils, I don't know how closely they match the barrel. So these are a black pencil, kind of a matte finish on them with the silver stamp, and then the color dipped into them. Like I said, this is a peach, but this looks more like a red to me. I'm using it like a red. I can go ahead and tell you. So color names, color numbers mean nothing to me in terms of what the actual color is, but for easy reference when you're swatching, those both are there, which is nice. So like I said, this came in a cardboard, like very flimsy thing with just simple little plastic flimsy trays in them. If you have a Amazon delivery person that doesn't take a lot of care with your packages, where these might be shipping in their own, these shipped in, I think, a padded envelope, but I can't quite remember. But if you have people that like to stuff things in your mailbox and stuff like that, these might not do well in transit. However, I received all mine. None of the leads were broken. None of the pencils were broken. The package seemed to be in really good shape. So, yeah, so there is that. Here is the swatch chart for these. Like I said, this is a 72 set. I looked in the comments and I, based on how I laid them down and how they feel, the closest I can associate these two are Black Widows. They do have a nice color output, but it's not, it's not as vibrant. Like, I always feel like the Black Widows almost have kind of a muted kind of feel to them, maybe because they're so waxy. And these are the same way. So, if you've been wanting to, and Black Widows can be expensive, especially if you're trying to do like Pokemon and collect them all the sets. So, if you're curious about the Black Widow and want a cheaper, similar type of pencil to try, I would recommend these if you're looking to invest in Black Widow, just to see if you like these types of pencils, because they definitely do have a different feel to them than like a Prismacolor or an Arteza. I do like my Black Widows, I just don't use them very often. But anyway, the color palette is really nice. You don't get a ton of oranges, which in a 72 set is not that big of a surprise. Some nice deep yellows that could be used, you know, while blending out. It could be used as like a light orange or something like that. Not a ton of reds or pinks, which I like the reds. I'm kind of glad there's not a lot of pinks because I don't use a lot of pinks, but this is why I'm telling y'all, because we're all different. A pleasantly wide variety of purples and blue purples. That is very unusual in especially a 72 set, but good amount of blues. Some of these are just a shade different. They're not super different. I would have liked to have seen a little more variety there. Greens, you get a lot of light greens. That 47 could even go into the yellow category, but the barrel looks green. What is it on this crazy thing? Oh, on here it says light yellow. Well, what do you know? So that's swatched out of order. That gives you another light yellow. Oh, that's the thing. When these showed up, I'm sorry. This is my very first one I'm doing of these, and they're going to get better as we go along, but there's a lot here. And I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Those little plastic trays, they come in, they are in no particular order. They're all over the place. Like they were just, I don't even know if they're in number order. I couldn't remember when I pulled them. So it is a bit of a pain in the keister to have to sort these into the color swatching that you like. You do have this one for some reference, which I should have used, but honestly this looked green to me, so it wound up here. So take my swatches with a grain of salt, because they are not going to be in absolute perfect color order, because my eyes sometimes will see reds for oranges and things like that. So, yeah, that's actually yellow. So, whoops. But you do get some light greens, not a ton of super dark greens. But not, you don't get like a real indigo, pure indigo blue either. So you don't get like super deep dark colors. Again, I think that's where some of the more muted tones come into play. I don't think you get a ton of browns. You get a fair amount, but, well, it is 72. So yeah, a fair amount of browns. Um, just a bare swatching of grays. That could even be a dark brown. No, it says dark gray violet. Okay, so that is not a dark brown, but it does have purple in it, so that's kind of cool. Here is your black, and then these ones with G's, I noticed when I was swatching them that they were shimmery when they went down, and I don't think I can show you that. Anyway, they have a bit of a shimmer or shine to them, and it turns out they slipped in some metallics, and so all the G's are the ones that are metallic. I'd put G for glitter. I mean, they're pretty. They're alright. I've seen better metallics, but I mean, for a $10 pencil set, you know, it's kind of cool in there, but honestly, I would have rather have a separate metallic set and put in more colors, more regular pencils. These sets that just include a couple metallic pencils, like seriously guys, just a bronze, a silver, and a gold. Okay, fine. But when you start talking about the other metallic cut, just create your own metallic set. Like seriously. Just include more colors that can be used as to blend in color with that aren't metallic, please. This has been a message from Kits and Caboodles. Anyway, y'all probably hear little bits of rants from me today. Anyway, so overall, decent palette. Like I said, very, alright pencils. I only had one that was really scratchy, and that's that 182 brown. I haven't tried to sharpen it yet, so, so just wanting to show y'all just very quickly, because this took 10 minutes. We're going to be here a long time if I spend 10 minutes on each of these. Okay, well, I don't know. There we go. They do blend pretty well. They are very waxy pencils that I didn't have to put a lot of pressure to put the darker colors down. The lighter pastel-y colors, like this 138, which is actually a really pretty pale green, I had to do a few layers to really get a good color on. So like the light colors get a little washed out, but these are not super heavy pressure pencils. I feel like I could use these for a reasonable amount of time and not be in like severe pain in my arm from them. And I speak as somebody who colors with heavy pressure when I shouldn't. So I was going to try to show you light, medium, heavy. Like I said, they're not the softest of pencils, but I would put these in a mid-range. And there's not a whole lot of difference between my middle and heavy pressure, but now that's as far as I'm going to go in these types of reviews, because I've got a lot of pencils here to cover. This is more to just give you an overview of these, what their swatches look like, things like that. I have plans, well, I'll talk about all that in the overview, so we're not repeating ourselves every time. But that's about all I can give y'all today, because I got a lot of things to go through. But you will get a more in-depth look at these in hopefully 2024. Hopefully. Anyway, overall, if you want to invest in Black Widows, but you're not sure if you will like that type of pencil, I would say try these first. There are a ton of different pencils by this brand. They're all different sizes, things like that. I am going to link to this specific set with the cardboard flimsy packaging because this will be your cheapest set, at least as far as of right now. Um, but they do, I will say, they do sell a set that already has a case. So I put these in a case, by the way. So I had to, I think this was on sale maybe for like $12. Little 72 case. And here they are in actual color order. So I, overall invested maybe about $30 into these pencils because there was no way I was going to be able to keep them in that packaging. So I did get a case. Now, there is a 72 set of Black Edition pencils that's already in a case that is $18.99 US as of this time. I cannot guarantee they are the exact same as these pencils. My guess, looking at the swatch compared to this, is that they are the same pencils. Those will probably be a little more secure in shipping, and you would get an even better deal because you're going ahead and getting a nice soft case with them. You'll probably still have to put them in order, but I am going to link that one down there as well, but I'll make it clear which one was the one I purchased, and then buyer discretion, you guys decide which one if you want to invest in these. So, on to the next. Whoop, we're all over the place. Alright, next up is the Tongfu, slightly better sounding pencils. Now these, there we go. Now these I paid for, and they are currently on sale. This is a 120 pencil set for $14.99 US as of today. For the 120 set in a zippered, nice zippered case, which is a really good deal. Probably the best deal I have had on a combination of pencils and cases of the stuff I'm going to show you today. However, you can even get the 72 set in a case for $10. So that's even technically cheaper than the hide pencils that I just reviewed. So keep that in mind. So these are Tongfu. When I looked at their page, they actually have a storefront page, and I think I took all of the paperwork and the extra stuff that came with this one. So it comes in this nice black zippered case. Yep, my pile of things is falling apart. I think it came with a little coloring book and some other things. It comes with a sharpener and a few other things with it. This is not going well. Because the sun's actually coming out, like my lighting is changing drastically as we go through the day here. There we go. Okay, well, I think it looks better even darker, but this will be fine for a moment. So this case is really nice. It actually folds out. It has like two little sections that fold out, which is really nice. Hang on a second. There we go. That's better. So interesting notes about these pencils. So the case comes with this, which I think is a tool, so like when your pencils get low, you can put them in here. Funny thing is, I don't even think they're gonna fit. Is that what this is? Sound sharpener. My guess is it's supposed to be something that holds the pencils like when they're down to like their little nubs, but the thing is, this doesn't even fit the pencils, so I don't know how useful that is. And then they do come with a sharpener. I tend to use my own sharpener. I have one of these electric ones, and I should have done this with the other ones. Seems to this sucker sharpens just about anything. Anything I stick in that sharpener. It's gonna sharpen. Why do I feel like this video, I'm gonna have to put a rating on this video. Um, my brain's in the gutter. Anyway, so it sharpens these just fine. I did try to, I did actually sharpen the other pencils I just reviewed, the high pencils, and they sharpen just fine in there too. So, you know, it's a little bit sharpener. It is, once I get this thing out, it's just a standard little cheap pencil sharpener. So the unique thing about these are triangular shaped, which actually is really nice because I am bad about pencils rolling off a desk and hitting the ground, and these won't do that. So that is very nice. Black barreled, dipped ends. They have a color name. There goes that sun. You can't really read it, but there's a color name there, the Tongfu brand, color name, and then color number. And honestly, like, the not having to buy the case is really nice. It's been so long since did I have to put these in color order? I think they were pretty close. I honestly do not remember. Wow, I've seen so many pencil sets recently. I don't remember. Oh my gosh, this is going. I think that, yeah, okay. So they were in color group order. So like all the blues were together, all the greens and everything like that. But if you use a pre-made swatch sheet or something like that, then where they're actually grouped in the shade order they should be, then you're probably going to have to do a little bit of rearranging. But these were a lot better than like the high pencils, for instance. These at least were close in groups. So here is the swatch chart I found. I had seen these. This is my coloring corner with Renee. It's one of her swatch charts. I really like them. Like, I was looking for swatch charts for everything. And because I couldn't find them, I had to find some alternate. I'm re-swatching everything I have anyway on little like one pagers if I can, like this. So I love the colors in this one. In this particular pencil set, I don't know, like this whole yellow to dark yellow, you've got a little bit of light skin tone here, but then this gradient here from the orange to like the dark red, like purple red, just like that, just almost perfect without that peach. And see, there's another peach that's like a real dark, almost like a rose red of sorts in there. But that is almost a perfect, like, just, oh, it's so satisfying. Same here with the pinks. You get another group that does a respectable number of purples, but like these are all so close to each other that I can't even tell the shade difference just looking here. And kind of the same with these. So you're not getting a lot of color variation between the pencils for a 120 set. Like, I saw more color variation in that 72 set between shades than I do in this 120. So I don't know. I can't compare this to the 72 Tongfu, so I don't know what they cut in the 72 set. So I don't know, like, if you're going to have a lot of different color combinations in this. But the one thing that was intriguing to me was, and what Tammy had said, is that this one carries a lot of dark colors. And it's a good point that a lot of times with pencil sets, we tend to get a lot of good middle colors. And then usually we have to buy like a pastel set to get those really light colors we're looking for. And a lot of times those really dark, like indigos and deep dark greens and stuff are kind of missing from those sets, right? Like, I'm not talking about like the big sets. I'm just talking about like your mid-range to budget sets. And so this carries a lot of deep colors. If you're somebody like me who likes to shade over marker, sometimes you just need like the deepest shade for a shadow. this I think would be an interesting set to use for, like, if you're just looking to do some shading over marker or something like that, but you're not necessarily looking the blending, you like doing straight color. So I did try to blend them, and I will say, like, I don't think these lay down as easily as the high pencils. I don't think they blend about the same. I don't know. I thought they blended. It took a little more effort to get them to blend than the high pencils, but um, they're about the same. I wouldn't say they're really that much different. Um, Here is, and it's blurry. See, this is the problem. We're doing all this far away close-up work. So here's light pressure, medium pressure, heavy. Whoop, see, I snapped it. That tells you I was doing heavy pressure. Now, I will say I just sharpened this one and then tried to lay it down, and it laid down a lot smoother. So sometimes these come with a little bit of like a coating on the color tips, probably like to prevent breakage. So if you're having a little trouble like with a pencil and you haven't sharpened it yet, sharpen it first and see if there was just a coating on it. Like this, I feel like lays down a whole lot better than it was on that swatch chart. Still a little not super smooth, but I mean, for for $10 with a case or $15 with a case, I mean, I'm not expecting expert level blending here. So anyway, I would say overall, like, I think this is a good set. Again, if you prefer just to color like one solid color, these can be blended. These can be, put into color groups like a light, a medium, and dark can easily be found here. Well, not easily, but can be found for the most part. But I think you're going to have a harder time with that here, except for maybe like your reds and your oranges. If you have a really hard time finding a good set of reds and oranges in a set that look like they go well together, like this just gives me life. Like, I just can't begin to tell you. The greens are also kind of satisfying, but they're a little more all over the place. But that's good though, because you get this neat dark tea green, which is almost like a blue, dark blue green. You get a deep emerald green. One thing that's really cool here is the grays. Again, if you like shading a lot and creating shadows and using grays to do so, you get like basic grays. You get like an ink blue, which is kind of like a blue gray, a green gray. You get another type of blue gray, purplish black. This says dark coffee. That is a teal color. I don't know what happened there. But like a blue black, like you get a nice variance of grays here. So what I will probably use this more for is less shading, less blending, and more like straight coloring. I hate calling it that because it just doesn't sound right. Coloring with just solid colors instead of trying to blend and shade. And then for shading over markers and stuff, I feel like this is a really good set. And like if I don't want to use up like my premium level pencils for simpler stuff, then now which one would I go with if I was trying to pick between the high pencils and the Tongfus? If I already have Black Widows, I'd go with the Tongfus. If I didn't have the Black Widows, I would probably go with the high pencils. But again, it really just comes down to what you like to color and how you like to color. So, on to the next one. All right, now we're on to watercolors somewhere in this set, and what's going to be funny is I think as you see this video go along, you're just going to see more and more stuff encroaching as we go. But should get through it. We're I think well halfway through this, so at this point, because I think I'm doing the pencils first. I don't know. Anyway, so I really enjoy using watercolor on my coloring pages, and also I one day want to watercolor. I actually signed up for one of Lindsay's watercolor classes, Lindsay Wyridge. Hopefully I'm not mispronouncing her name. And that's something, you know, definitely if I can't get before the end of the year, the start of the year, I'd like to start working on that, using more just watercolors in my coloring books, more watercolor art, things like that. I am I'm obsessed with watercolor sets, which I think most people that like watercolors are. But I follow Lindsay the Frugal Crafter and Christy Rice. I think it's Christy. Hopefully I said that right. I follow them quite a bit, and I'll link their channels here. Also, but I go a lot of times by their recommendations on good watercolor sets. I've been curious about the Japanese watercolors, which I kind of have some anyway. The Genzai, like Tambi, the little, hang on, let me just grab one. I kind of have them anyway in these different little colors, like the Kuretake gem colors. The Japanese watercolors typically come in these pans that kind of look like this. And I have some and I really like them, but I wanted to get a set that had like just regular, all the ones I have are specialty ones, and so I wanted to get a set that had just regular basic colors in it. And I didn't want to spend the money on the Genzai Tambi big pan sets. So from Lindsay's site, I saw she had recommended this as a good alternative. It's a little bit cheaper type brand. It's MozArt Komorebi watercolor pan set. These are Japanese style. There's 40 colors. And so I happened to find these on sale. I pay $23 for these. These are currently on a Black Friday deal. Probably the best Black Friday deal I've seen so far, $19.99 US. So if you're interested in these, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right off the bat, like that's I think a really good price for these. So I got the 40 set, and this is what it looks like. So the pans are a little, you know, they're actually thicker, deeper than I thought they were. Just at first glance, it doesn't look like there's a lot in the pans, but you know, when I pull them out, there's actually a little bit more to the pans than I thought there was. So I feel like a fair amount of color. You get, sorry, I have to count in my head, 24, 26 basic colors. You get about 6 neons, and you get a whole strip of metallics. And you'll have heard me in the pencil thing talk about how, you know, if a company is going to do neons or metallics or some type of specialty pencils in their smaller sets, they just need to make the, you know, those a separate set. I feel like in this case, it's a little bit different with watercolors, especially if you have multiple sets. Like, I feel like these are not the metallics, but like the neons are not super, well, I haven't come across the neons very much. So I used the color chart that came with it. It's basically stuck to the palette. The thing I noticed about these that I really liked was that these feel a little more, they're not wet, they're dry to the touch, but they loosen up a lot quicker. The basic colors do. Normally I have to put a drop of water in the pans that I'm going to use to give them time, like if they're really dry, to loosen up a little bit before I use them. I didn't have to do that at all here. I was able to just dip the brush in and go ahead and get immediate good solid color. So I was very pleased with that. The one difference I will say there, though, the neons and the metallics are drier, and so I did have to like put drops in those and let them sit for a few minutes to soften up. But it was minor. It wasn't a big deal. The metallics are actually very nice metallics for a little pan set like this. I have a ton. I could throw tins of metallic watercolors on the bed and just roll around in them like somebody would in piles of cash. It would be very painful, but I could do it. But I actually really like these metallics. if I just need some simple gold or bronze or something like in a picture and I'm too lazy to go pull out my specific metallics and like iridescent sets, I feel like these are a really, these went down really well and they're nice and shiny. I was very pleasantly surprised by these. I think I'm going to really like the Japanese style watercolors. The Gansai Tambi, the 48 set is on my list for Christmas, as is the Art Nouveau set. Because between the Kiritakis I already have and this, I know I'm going to use those. But if you just want to try them out and you're not sure about them, I highly recommend this set. And like I said, right now I feel like it's a steal for that price. I'm really excited to try coloring with these or even doing watercolor art. So very nice tin. Enjoyed these very much. Actually was quite pleasantly surprised. Oh, they also come with just like a little plastic. They weren't individually wrapped. They're just free. They're just blowing in the wind, free, free balling. And they were just covered by this little plastic cover. So, next up, and I bought these a couple months ago when I was watching like Lindsay and Christie's, like, watercolors for beginners series. So again, those MozArt ones, I feel like I will use across the board. The GenCrafts, I do feel like these are more beginners. So these were recommended by Christy. I'm sure Lindsay's covered them in one of her videos, but I specifically saw Christy and they were a good price. And it's 48 colors, 48 actual colors. So this isn't, we added extra of a certain color in, or we added metallics, or we added neons. These are actually 48 completely different colors in a watercolor palette, which, unless you splurge for like a more expensive artist level palette, I have found is actually not super easy to find. Where did I put these? There they are. So they come in this box. They come with just this. I realized right when I was getting ready to shoot this that the color names are actually on the back. So, and you get brushes and things. So here is the palette. It is kind of a cheapy plastic palette. The very first set of watercolors I got was a budget watercolor that came in this type of plastic palette, and I did not like those. They were very chalky. I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about my first set. And so when I saw this initially, I balked because I was like, oh crap, are these not, I'm not too big on the packaging because it just, hopefully these don't disappoint me. And they didn't. I was pleasantly surprised. I feel like the packaging in these could be a little better for as good as these are, but if it keeps the price down, I mean, if you really hate the plastic palettes, you can always pop these out. If you have nails, it helps. Anyway, they pop out and they pop back in. So they're in little sets of 3, and you can pop the individual colors in and out. You can put other watercolors in here. You can move these to another palette. I don't worry too much about the palettes because I can buy my own palettes separately if I want to. I'm more worried about the cost of the paint. So like if the packaging upgrade made the price of these go up, like I would say just keep them the way they are. They come with a little mixing plastic piece right here. I am probably going to put that somewhere because I just prefer having, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use my own mixing set. And I did go ahead and swatch these, plus I want to be able to fit my swatches in there. So again, on the onset, they look very kind of just standard budget watercolors. And now I'm not a watercolor expert, but I was very pleasantly surprised when I swatched these because, again, I thought they'd be super dry and I'd have to put, some water in them to let them sit. No, straight brush to the color, was able to swatch these out. They swatch beautifully. They're not chalky. They don't feel chalky to the touch. They're nothing like the other set that I had. These actually came out with really nice colors. There's 48 colors, but like these two are really close. Tangerine and red orange. Yeah, those are like really close together. I was trying at a glance to look. These blues seem to be really close together. So there's a couple that aren't, you know, I wouldn't say there's 48 unique, completely unique shades in here. However, the way I'm going to use this palette is mostly for coloring, laying down base color on a page and then shading with like pencil and stuff over it. If you're somebody who doesn't like to have to mix a lot and you like having more colors initially to choose from, like I said, in particular for laying bases on coloring pages and stuff, I think this is a really good palette. Like I said, I've not tried it yet, but that's what I'm going to focus on using this for. I don't know if I'll be using, I mean, I'm going to try everything on everything, but this will probably be more laying base work on coloring pages for me. Maybe building up a little bit of color if I just want to use watercolor on the page. But this is like the most variety of color I think I have in a watercolor palette to date. Like the Winsor and Newton one that comes, like, I think it's 48 colors, but like there are 2 like whites, there's 2 reds, like it's not 48 unique colors. This is the one I've seen that's had the most like unique colors in the budget set. So, I know Gravy is one that also has that, but like these wells are not as small, so I feel like this will last you a lot longer. Like I said, if you just need watercolors as a base coat, plus this opens up a lot of mixing possibilities if you do want to mix. It does come with a little sponge and a couple little brushes. I have my water brushes that I do like to use, but I will certainly, you know, I might give those a try, who knows. But yeah, no, I paid $30. This is currently on sale on Amazon for $28. And again, if you're a colorist and you're looking for something to lay like base color and you want a variety of colors and you don't want to splurge for like an artist grade or anything like that, you just want something that'll probably do well on coloring pages, like I feel like this is a really good set. And we will be testing it, of course, but that's what I think I'm mostly going to use it for. So, all right, we have 2 more. So I know, I guess like any other watercolor person, I am a sucker for cute little sets, even though I'm sure I can get these colors mixing on my own. But I do like these confection sets, the art philosophy ones. I've been collecting the different sets, and so I picked up 2. I keep them on a list and I watch, and if they get marked down a little bit, like 20 or under $20, they're all around 20 to 25 US right now. If they get under $20 or right at $20, I usually pick them up. And so both of these have went down a little bit. I got the Woodlands set and the Pastel Dreams, which are definitely unique colors. So this is the Pastel Dreams. They all come in these little bitty tins. And then I did not do a good job. They're not very well secured in here, so they do run a little loosey-goosey. I don't know if I can easily tighten these up, but I need to try. Anyway, so this is the swatch for these. Now, these do run really dry. Like, they feel really dry to the touch. I pulled these straight off the brush, but I would recommend with the art philosophies that you go ahead and pre-wet them with water to give them time to activate the color and the pigment if you want a stronger pigment. And I should have done that, especially with this pastel set, because a lot of these colors are, of course, pastel and lighter. For a pastel set, I was a little surprised at, I don't know what was happening with that brown. I just used too much water from the get-go, but like, I was kind of surprised at the browns. I don't know, I'm sure an artist can explain why, and it's probably used to mix with the other colors to make more pastel colors. But I gotta tell you, I do love this crimson. The citrus is gorgeous. That yellow orange, I love. I do love these, the greens and blues, like every time. And like I said, they were a little dry when I swatched them, so that it's not giving as bright a color. But I like these. I want to, especially in 2024, want to be use more pastels in my coloring and in my work. And the only other pastel set I have is the Derwent pastel set. I saw somebody give a really good review for the White Nights pastel set. I think I'm also going to put that on my Christmas list this year, and just for comparison purposes. And yeah, and then plus I don't have any White Night stuff, so you know how it goes. And then the Woodlands set, I honestly like this better, and I like the pastel set, but I am more of a woodsy color kind of person than I am a pastel person. Like, I am loving these. This might be my favorite convection set to date. I love that darker kind of brownish black color. The foxberry is gorgeous. Love the redwood. This is a little similar to that bumblebee color, but still slightly different. The blues and greens I'm in love with in this palette. I think it's gorgeous. So I really love the colors in this palette. What I'll probably do once I get all of them is like buy a big metal palette and then just plop them all in there. That way I don't have 20,000 little sets running around. But yeah, and like I said, you'll be seeing more of these. These are going into my collection. Excellent. Because I I am such a sucker for collections. As you can see, would be evident in this video. So, I was trying to think, was there anything else? I don't think so. I said I was doing the pencils for. Okay, so we're going to move to the outro for this. Alright, just a quick outro. We've wrapped everything up. Like I said, if you want more information on any of these items, go. I'll have as much detail as I can in the description. And yes, oh, there it is. I sit here and I'm like, I do these videos because I am like, don't be like me. Don't go just buying stuff because you're stressed, and you're buying stuff because you're stressed. I do a lot of stress buying, and so I do this to show you guys what these products are like, so that way you can make better, more informed decisions than I did. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. There will be a lot of flip throughs next week. I did buy a big stack of books. I know. I did buy a big stack of books. So there will be some flip through videos. I don't know if I'll start those Sunday. I don't know if I'll do a color and chat. I don't know. We're going to be visiting more family tomorrow, so it really just depends on what my energy and vibe is come Sunday. I might just be exhausted. I'm pretty exhausted today. So we'll see. And it would be nice to find some time to actually color, since, oh, and the other big project is I've decided before I go back on the 4th, I want to try to get my office/studio straightened up. And that's definitely going to be a week-long project. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to do this, so I could put all this away where it's going to live. And yeah, so there will be some flip throughs. Nothing to, if I don't do a color and chat this weekend, it'll be next weekend. I do hope to have a giveaway in December live stream, but I am trying, because of traveling, because of going back to work in December, I'm trying not to set myself up to be super stressed this last week I've got of leave. So we're going to try to keep it casual. But I hope you guys, if you celebrated the holidays, I hope you're having a good weekend. If not, you know, maybe you've just been hanging at home, eating pizza, chilling, watching movies. I hope maybe you gotten some time off just to enjoy, because honestly, we're all, I think, kind of perpetually exhausted and overworked and burnout. I was fortunate enough to be able to get a leave where I feel so much better. But it took me a month straight of sleeping to start feeling better. So I know not everybody has that. So I'm very like privileged and fortunate to be able to do that with my job. But like I know everybody's just exhausted with what's going on in the world, with what's going on with jobs and work, and everybody's being told to do more with less, and people are getting laid off and things like that. Like it's just, it's a tough time. I don't know a lot of people that are like, life's just grand. I don't know anybody right now that's like, hey, life's just grand. So hopefully you were able to take some time to rest and recharge over the weekend, however you like to do so. And yeah, I just think about you guys a lot, and I appreciate you checking out the videos and supporting the site and all. And I'm gonna shut up now. Y'all have a good rest of the weekend. If I don't talk to you Sunday in some way or form, but I probably will. Thanks. Bye for now.